acting operating system, if you're an early career actor or even a pro actor trying to grow your career, this is how to make headshots that get more acting jobs. Unfortunately, headshots really are this simple for actors. I'm going to break it down for you in the video, and along the way, share some pro tips of my own. So headshots are way simpler than the acting industry wants you to believe, because if headshots were simple, a lot of people would just stop selling confusion, and a lot more people would really get into the craft. Most actors think headshots get you hired because they look impressive. That belief quickly keeps people stuck. If headshots feel out of reach, it's because no one explains how and what actually works, like I will do in this video. So I learned this the hard way. I started acting as a baby. I have been in casting rooms for decades. I'm an Oscar and Emmy-nominated actor, and I've watched thousands of actors walk themselves out of opportunities before they ever auditioned. Not because they were bad actors, but because their headshots made casting unsure. At some point, it clicked. Casting is not looking for art. They're looking for certainty and role archetype potential. So here's a real example. This is my IMDb. I'm Bo Mitchell. You can look it up. These are some of my current headshots and some of my old ones. It's a very simple thing to do, but a lot of people kind of take it out of proportion for many different reasons. And I'm here today to break down exactly what works and what doesn't. So once I saw this pattern repeat over and over, it became obvious what casting was really responding to. Casting looks at your headshot for seconds, not minutes, not hours, once for seconds. They're not asking how creative you are. They're asking where you fit and whether they can trust you. They're trying to bring a writer/director's vision to life. And the question is, does your headshot answer their question? Not a perfect bullseye, but kind of the perfect amount of gray. Can you play this person they think they want you to play, but can you also bring something to it? But simple works because the brain wants clarity. Clarity lowers risk. Lower risk is hired, or at the very least can get you in a callback, right? Which is really where the battle starts to book a role. So if your headshot creates a question mark, you lose no matter how fancy it is, no matter how nice the lighting is, no matter how great the photographer was. If it answers a question instantly, you move forward. It's that simple. So what questions are you answering? My number one thing when I tell people, hey, go get some headshots made, they're like, who do I go to? How do I get headshots? What do I do? Okay, I get it. It does seem like second nature to me because I've been doing this a while, but I will break it down here the same way I break it down to everyone else that I work with and help. Ultimately, you do not need a fancy photographer or a fancy studio or anything like that to get your headshots done. It's amazing when you have that done. All mine like that now are done like that. That's because I've been acting for 3 decades and I've booked hundreds of roles and made a lot of money doing this. And this is something that I'm passionate about and I love. So because of that, yes, I reinvest in myself, in my career, in my business, and I pay for really nice headshots. But most people I talk to have little to no money, have only booked 1 or 2 things, and they're just not ready to go into one of these fancy studios. However, Hollywood and the industry tells you to do it backwards because they want to make a little extra buck. I get it, but that's not going to help you. Here's what will. Getting some basic phone photography done. You don't need the fancy studio. You can just take your iPhone or Android or whatever, use the portrait mode or cinematic mode, and take a couple photos of yourself. You can even get away with doing selfies if you don't have anyone to help, or set up a tripod and do a timer. Ideally, you do get somebody to help. I'm going to say, please ask a friend, maybe take a buddy out for coffee or lunch, and then, hey, let's shoot some photos after this in the park, right? Something like that. But ultimately, that's all you need to get it done. The realization gives you permission to stop doing almost everything you've been told to do and actually just get stuff done. Move your career forward. Stop sitting around waiting for the big break. You do not need 10 looks. It helps. You do not need dramatic lighting. Sure, it helps, but you don't need it. You do not need to look cool, edgy, or different. That actually maybe won't help. You do not need to show range in a headshot. Range comes later. Range comes with reels, resume, experience. Headshots are about placement, rolling archetypes, and headshots show some authenticity. If that sounds boring, good. Boring is bookable. I'm not trying to get you on the next big film as a blockbuster headline role. I'm trying to get you some jobs so that you can build a resume and a career to get to that position. Now, here's some of my headshots that I'm running right now. These are some of my biggest booking headshots. These are the headshots that get me the most auditions, okay? And these are headshots that I've booked some good roles from. And these headshots are kind of old. They're a few years old. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about who these people are, right? This is kind of just your average, guy, maybe kind of a nicer, funnier guy, good energy, just as like your standard operating version of yourself. You need one of these always. Just a good picture of you smiling. Cool. This one right here, a little bit of an edge, kind of maybe like hacker, nerd, like, CSI guy on the computer, type of energy. And this one, I get roles to read for stuff like this all the time. Now, this one's more of like a good old boy, blue collar, tradesman, also kind of like redneck, stuff like that, which are roles that I play great. My reel backs it up, my resume backs it up, and then with this on top, we're crushed. I've gotten some really big leading roles booked, and I've gotten some amazing auditions with this headshot. And then I always think it's good to get a few photos of you like business casual or like kind of in cocktail wear, kind of like red carpet looks almost, but nothing crazy. We don't need to go get like, a Gucci suit. This is all stuff I got from Goodwill. You just need to show that you can wear that type of stuff. You can also play characters that look like that. I mean, there's a whole show called Suits, right? Everybody in that is pretty much always wearing business casual attire. It's an amazing show. I would love to get booked on it, especially for a regular role. We'd be crushing it, right? And this actually gets me a ton of opportunities like that. At the very least, even if you never get booked off of one of these, it's great to show what you can look like in this position because it shows that you can dress up, right? You can be on a red carpet and you can lead the life that you need to lead to become more than just a supporting background character, to be a leading character in a big film. Again, we want to answer these questions, right? Can casting bet on you? So go out, get your homie, take some pictures, do a nice, smooth, dark gray, off-white backdrop, use the portrait mode, be well lit, okay? If you don't have any nice lights, or if you can't go out in the sun and get some good shots or in kind of an overcasty day, right? Then, hey, grab some lights off Amazon for $30 and then get to work. After that, throw it in an editing app. There's tons of AI editing software out there, and there's tons of software you can just use yourself, and your phone's got it built in. Like, there's no excuses here, okay? There's no excuses to not bang this out and get yourself some headshots and get rocking and rolling with your career. This is how I started. So ultimately, this was me at 14 roughly, and my mom shot these on the family film camera, and this was my headshot for like a decade. I booked some amazing stuff with this. One of the things I actually booked, this headshot got me the audition for Cobra Kai. Now, if it wasn't for this headshot, probably wouldn't have, fit the role archetype to play Cobra Kai, right? And then I would have not got the chance to do this audition and not got a really, really, good opportunity to work with some amazing people and grow my career. And we didn't have access to nice studios. I lived in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina. My mom, bless her heart, not a photographer. Okay, we had no idea what we were doing, but we just went and did it and got it done because we had no other choice. It's easier than ever now to overcome these things. Back then, this was on film. We had to wait a couple days to see what this picture even looked like. Okay? So it's very, very easy to do now with your phone. That's all I'm trying to drive home. So if we strip away all the noise, what actually matters comes down to just a few things. A great headshot does three things. It shows your age range clearly. It shows your energy honestly. And it makes casting feel safe imagining you on set. That's it. No costumes, no acting, no trying, just clearly you. Okay? Look at all these headshots, right? They're me. I've got a couple little things going on to kind of tweak vibe, but I'm not wearing a clown suit. Okay, I didn't go put on a ton of makeup. They're me. Same thing with this one. It's just me, casual photo. This is like my LinkedIn profile pic. Again, business casual is always great, right? Leading man type of energy or leading woman or leading person type of energy is always great to be able to show that you have in the back of your pocket. You might be able to play a dirty, crazy, grimy character on screen, but then you can reel it back in and you can play a leading person as well. It shows range, but it also makes them feel confident casting you, right? Because they can tell that, okay, this person got some good headshots done. They've got a couple options. Looks like they've been doing this for a while. They really care about it. I think if I book them and they show up on set, I think they're going to be normal people. They're not going to, be running around trying to take selfies with all leading actors and cause a bunch of trouble. This is exactly the framework that I help actors dial in when we work together. If you want help dialing this in and aligning your headshots with how casting actually reads you, I work one-on-one with actors inside the actor operating system. I also have a free ebook I will give to anyone that applies and books a call. Link is below if you want to explore that. This is what the application page looks like. I'll see it in there. Now, if part of you is thinking, this sounds almost too easy, that reaction makes sense. Here's how headshots actually get you jobs. If this feels too simple, that's the point. Most actors are not stuck because they lack information. They're stuck because they're doing too much. Sophistication in this industry looks like simple and easy. My biggest tip here is just fucking do it. Okay? Go get some headshots done. Remember, you don't need all the fancy stuff here. Okay? You just need to get it done. Make it simple, make it easy, make it repeatable, because in a few months, you're probably going to realize that you might be playing a whole different role in an archetype than you thought, or maybe you'll get a couple ideas for some new characters, and you're just going to go back and do it again. This is something you should be doing all the time, because once you understand this next thing, you stop trying to impress, you actually get things moving, and you start getting brought into auditions, brought into callbacks, brought into chemistry reads. Your headshot is not here to sell your talent, okay? Your headshot, it's here to remove doubt. When casting is not confused, they bring you in, and when they bring you in consistently, you get more reps, you get more auditions, you network more, and careers start. But above all else, they will never bring you in if you never start. If you have more questions about this, click the link in the description now. Apply to work with me. I'll see you.